What's up, guys? Your boy Chris Plutino channel. Tell me more, the haven for early 2000s kids and a few 90s babies. Okay, let's get into this. Today we are going to be talking about but real quick, thank you guys for liking, subbing, commenting, and all that stuff. I'm sorry about I'm not really sorry about the interviews, but I'm branching out, so bear with me. I'm still gonna produce, my regular content and stuff. It's just I'm expanding my stuff. I'm gonna do live streams soon eventually, so yeah, check out those ones too. But today we're talking about Ben 10 Alien Force. Specifically, we're talking about the episode Primus. I think it's like season 3, episode 10 or something around there, but it's the episode called Primus. All right, let's get into this. So the episode starts off with we go to Vilgaxia, which is Vilgax's homeworld that he rules over. So in Vilgaxia, his people are sharing for him and stuff. They're like giving him praises and adulation and all that good stuff. But he doesn't care. He's just like, whatever. And he walks away. Then his subordinate, Siphon, is like, okay. Well, he doesn't say okay. But he's like, my sire or my master, whatever the fuck he said. Or yeah, he says master. What's wrong? You don't seem to be enjoying all this, loving. The people are safe. Because this was after the episode where Ghost Freak invaded Vilgax's planet. But he's like, the people are safe. And, your kingdom is restored. What's up with you? Why are you feeling down? He's like, I feel hollow due to the praises. Or the praises are just hollow to me. Their adulations mean nothing to me. That is like, what? But you're like the conqueror of 10 worlds and stuff. You're that dude, bruh. Vilgax, you're that man. Why aren't you happy? He's like, because there's still one thing that escapes my grasp. Something like that. He says something like that. Then this dude, Siphon's like, are you talking about the fact that Ben Tennyson has repeatedly defiled you? Then he's like, my boy, watch your mouth, Siphon. Your counsel is valuable, but not irreplaceable. Then this dude is like, of course I know. This dude Siphon is like, of course I know. I'm just saying that if you really wanted to, you could just like go kick his ass and like take the watch from him. But you don't really want to. But at this point, Vilgax is thinking in his head. Well, at first he tells him, he's like, hey, look. I'm not gonna be goaded by you, Worm, into taking reckless action because he knows Ben will kick his ass. Somehow he always does. So he's like, yeah, this dude's really gonna kick my ass again. But then he starts thinking. But he's like, you might not know this, but I'm closer than ever to obtaining the Omnitrix. And he flashbacks to like the previous episode, but this time I don't think in that episode they showed this, but he goes and talks to Ghost Freak because he's the one who frees Ghost Freak, or his Omniverse name, The Scare. He's the one who frees him from his prison and stuff in a like a light colored spot thing. I'll show it around here. But he asks him, you know what I want? I'm free for he's talking to Ghost Freak, by the way. Vilgax is talking to Ghost Freak. You know what I want? I'll free you from your prison if you tell me. He's like, I know what you want. The secrets of the Omnitrix. Primus. Like he's whispering to this dude or something. But yeah, it then switches to the intro. All that stuff happens. Then the first scene, or I should say the second scene, is the welcome to Bellwood sign going into the city gets smashed through by a Techodon robot, a red one. A Techodon robot pops out the thing. I think it's Kevin that punched him through or something. But yeah, Ben just standing in the back. They start whamming on him, beating its ass. Gwen pulls up, ties him up. She uses her power to tie him up at first. Then she's like, didn't we already destroy this thing? Then Kevin's like, no, not this one. Techodon or mass-produced battle robots. I forgot. He said something else, but I don't remember. But either way, the robot pops out of what's her name? Gwen's energy whip restricting thing, or rope, I should say. Well, rips out the rope. Then Then Kevin flies off. This robot pulls up, starts stomping on Kevin, bro. Stomps on his chest, stomps on his face. Then that's when Ben pulls up a Lodestar, which is a magnetic alien. He uses Lodestar to start ripping the alien off. He's like, I guess I have a magnetic personality. Horrible puns and stuff. But he starts ripping the robot apart. As he's doing that, I want to say, yeah, the robot, because in the first episode, the gauntlets, or I should say the Techodon robot appears, is called the gauntlets. And in that episode, like a hand thing pops out the robot. They fought one, killed it, but there was a hand and it affected JT. Or Cash. I think it was JT. Maybe Cash. I don't know. I forgot which one is which, but the one without the long hair that's a bully to Ben, it attached to his arm. He almost got turned into a robot. That was the whole thing. But point is, the hand pops out again. It was running, but Gwen's like, oh, we can't let that thing go away. So Kevin smashes it when he turns his hand to like a brick fist. He's like, not this time. Smashes it. Ben's about to destroy the robot. He's like, any last words? He's about to rip it apart into millions of pieces or blow it up or whatever he's gonna do. And that's when I want to say his watch times out and he turns back into regular Ben. Then he's like, you piece of junk. Starts getting pissed at the watch. The robot, the Techodon robot, pulls up on him. He's like, turns one the remaining hand, I think it's his left hand, into a cannon. He's like, huge blaster Ben, but Gwen creates a magic shield around him. Obviously, she protects her cousin. But he's like, thanks. She's like, don't thank me. Just turn into something and fight. Runs, smashes some energy blast into the thing. What's his name? Kevin jumps on it. Again, they're fighting it again. Ben is trying to turn into another alien, so he chooses, how about Humongosaur? Smashes it. Turns into doesn't actually. So he tries to turn into Humongosaur. Doesn't go well. He just turns into nothing. The light happens, but he's like, what's wrong? Then when he turns it on, tries to use the Omnitrix is like, Omnitrix must return to Creator. Omnitrix must go to Primus. Then he's like, what the heck's Primus? Then Kevin's like, never heard of him. While he's ripping the head off of the robot. Then it shows the lagging symbol. It shows that on the Omnitrix like it's buffering or something. So my boy is like, what the? I can't turn into my aliens. Then the Omnitrix then starts flashing, turning super bright, and it's about to teleport Ben. So, and by this point, Kevin already ripped off the Techodon robot's head, and the robot's on the ground. Gwen and Kevin are just picking each other up or whatever, and then they're like, oh, he's about to teleport. So they run in, jump into the teleportation beam, and get teleported with him, which I guess they just left that Techodon robot there. So I don't know, someone else probably got it. I don't know, was it truly broken? Who knows? It looked pretty broken. Its head got ripped off and it exploded a little bit. But yeah, Ben, Kevin, and Gwen land on a planet. The both of them land on top of Ben, but they land on some weird planet with like green lava and stuff. There's a volcano. There's like I guess I'll say fly, maybe a wasp-looking giant bugs sucking the volcano lava like it's what's it called? The green lava like it's some liquid or something, like it's some nectar or something. So as they're questioning like, where are we? What's happening? That's when those giant bugs start flying, chasing after Ben and his friends and stuff. So Ben's like, trying to turn into something, it's not working. Kevin has to pull up. He's like, I got your back. Man starts dropping all these bugs. Gwen's doing her thing, creating a shield around Ben. She's like, there must be after the Omnitrix, blasting them and stuff. Pew pew pew, doing her thing. While out of nowhere, I'm trying to remember. Out of nowhere, the watch starts flashing. It's still talking. It's like, Omnitrix has returned to Primus. Now Omnitrix must go to Creator. So the watch starts scanning the bugs and stuff. Ben thinks it's like hurting them or shooting them. He's like, pew 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 pew, take that, but you. What's her name? Gwen notices it and she's like, no, it's just scanning them because they stop attacking as soon as it starts scanning them. But Kevin's like, stop scanning and start, start taking names. No, stop taking samples because taking DNA samples. Stop taking samples and start taking names. But then the Omnitrix just says Ben Tennyson has fulfilled the purpose of its wielder or something like that. Ben Tennyson has fulfilled his purpose. Then it just flies off of his wrist, goes into one of the bugs, and they take off with the watch. And he's like, hey, what the frick? Try to chase after it. They blast a few of them, but they were protecting the one that has the watch, and that one flies away. The next scene, what's his name? Ben's like, I can't believe the Omnitrix is gone. Without it, I'm like a regular guy. I'm like, yeah, you're like everyone else. So yeah, that shows that the Omnitrix is a huge part of Ben's self-esteem / how he views himself. He's a hero. Also, they start going through the woods. Ben doesn't like the mud. He doesn't like anything. He doesn't like this. Oh, the mud, the trees, yada, yada, yada. So Kevin's turning his hand into blades and like slicing up the mud, not the mud, the trees and stuff so they can pass. We see a few more creatures, a few more alien creatures and stuff. I want to say, at this point, Kevin's like, what if you never get the Omnitrix back again? He's like, I have to get it. Because if I don't, I mean, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah. They see some tracks of the bugs dead. The bugs that they were just fighting dead. And they're like, Ben's like, I guess we got a few of them over here. But she's like, no, we're like over a mile away from where we fought those things. And they start inspecting the insects. They see it has scorch marks, which I don't know. I don't know how energy blasts, because they said it's from a ray gun. I don't know how that's different from energy blast. I mean, they should be both the same, but whatever. Maybe its magic is different or something. But they just see a bunch of carcasses of the insects and stuff. They break apart and stuff, and Kevin's like, oh, I guess we're not the only ones who have a bone to pick with these things. And they just, I guess they leave because Kevin's like, it's a good reason not to be here because there's a bunch of corpse around here. Something is attacking the bugs. So they finally walk to closer to the, I guess, volcano. Yeah, closer to the volcano. They go close to it, but there's a river surrounding it. And Ben's like, this is going to take all day to go around. Then Gwen's like, no, it's not. She then creates her magical mana foothold steps thing, and they start stepping on it. And Ben's like, this is what I'm talking about. No nasty, no mud, nothing touching you. In that moment, some tentacle pulls up out of the lava and grabs him into the lava. And, if this was actual lava, he dead, but he's not. It's not that type of lava. Kevin jumps in. He's like, I got this. I'll go get him. Jumps in. But this girl, Gwen, just starts freaking out. Kevin shoots a giant blast into the water, blows it up. The tentacle creature wasn't shown. We just see his tentacles. And Ben and Kevin get sent on top of trees. While Kevin's like, what part of I got this don't you understand? She's like, sorry. So then they finally go up to the other side, because at this point they're on the other side of the river on the volcano side. So they're going up the volcano. There's a cave. Ben's like, through here. So they go in there. As they're going in, they start hearing two people fighting. Who do they see? They see our boy Vilgax and someone who apparently took the Omnitrix, because Humongosaur is fighting Vilgax. They're kind of even a bit, but come on, it's Vilgax. He pulls out a sword. Shoots a beam from the sword, like makes the person turn back into its real form, the person's real form, and it turns out it is Azimuth. And do you want to know something crazy? This actually makes sense. But the Omnitrix, which for us it's a watch because we're super big and, Azimuth is like super small. For him, it's a belt. So that actually makes a lot of sense. You put on the belts, you turn into an alien. That's interesting. What if the watch actually grew to a belt and Ben put it around his waist? That would be kind of different. He's like, that's how he puts it on. He smacks his crotch. But anyway, Asmod's like, sorry, I'm a little bit rusty. Which I'm like, bro, you made the watch. What are you rusty for? But this is your technology. You should know. You should be the best person. Like, activate master control or something. You should be that guy to know how to use this. But he says he's a little rusty. Then what's his name? Vilgax throws a giant boulder at him. And before this, Ben thought, before it was shown that it was Asmod, Ben thought that that was Primus that has the watch, and Primus is working with Vilgax, even though Kevin's like, why are they fighting then if they're working together? So Ben just being a dum-dum. He's like, I don't know. Why do I have to figure out everything? But back to Asmod. Asmod, before the giant boulder that Vilgax throws at him could hit him, or as it hits him, he turns into... Ooh, burpee burps. He turns into Wrath. And if you don't know, Wrath is tell me something, Vilgax, conqueror of 10 worlds, Asmod will crush you or kill you or whatever. So yeah, Wrath splits the boulder in two, shucks it back at Vilgax. Vilgax uses his eye beams to blast the boulders apart. Then he shoots like on top of the cave. Makes a bunch of rocks, like spiky rocks, fall down on Asmod, and he turns back into himself. It comes out at the rubble, falls. Then Vilgax picks him up. He's like, finally, I have the Omnitrix! And he lifts Asmod up and stuff and takes the Omnitrix off him. He's like, yes! Goes to commercial break, goes back in. Now, this is the weird part. In the OG series, Vilgax actually knew how to control the Omnitrix a little bit. He could, like, turn Ben back from being an alien to his normal self. So I don't know how he lost that knowledge. Maybe Asmod updated the Omnitrix so he can't use it anymore. Plus, where did he even get those codes from? Who knows? Those are all questions leading to another road / it's a bigger topic. So we're going to stick to the episode. In this, he tries to use it, but he doesn't know how to use it, or he forgot how to use it. Whichever one you want to go with. He's like, brainstorm, big shield. It's not, none of it is working. Then he's like, Asmod, tell me how to use the Omnitrix. Tell me how to control it. Then he's like, no. So he tosses Asmod to the ground. While Ben, after obviously seeing all that bullshit, Ben's like, okay, I gotta help him. Gwen and Kevin are like, no, bro. No, you're about to get yourself killed. Let's go handle this. So they go in there, try to go jump Vilgax, and it goes as well as you expect it to. He whoops their ass. But yeah, Vilgax is like, oh, if you guys are here, that means Ben Tennyson must be pretty close. While Ben meets up with Asmod, because Asmod snuck off and stuff, he's like, Asmod, what are we gonna do? Vilgax has the Omnitrix. It's like, oh, Ben Tennyson, you're here. Or at first Ben does a ridiculous thing. He picks up Asmod. He's like, Asmod, are you okay? Then he pats him on his head. Then Asmod is like, did you just dare me? I'm like, yeah, I mean, come on. You just lost your most coolest invention or whatever. Maybe Ascalon's better. But back into this. After that, did you just dare me dare me scene? What's his name? Asmod is like, oh, all is lost. Bantan, you must get your friends out of here. Because he's like, what are you doing? Or technically he knows, but Ben is like, oh, well, the Omnitrix brought me here. And he's like, well, yeah, you got to get your friends and get them out of here. Like, what's his name? Vilgax has the Omnitrix now. All is lost. But he's like, we can't just let him keep it. He's like, don't you think I know that? I concur, bro. Don't you think I know that? But unfortunately, I'm not gonna tell him anything about the watch. And since it's above his ability, which I'm like, so the Omnitrix is now above his ability to control? Like, what are you talking about? He used to do that in the OG series. But anyway, he's like, I'm not telling the secrets, so yeah, he's gonna probably get mad or something. That's when Vilgax is like, Ben Tennyson, I know you're here. Show yourself, or I will kill your friends. And he has Gwen and Kevin. They're knocked out in his hands. Then Ben is like, okay, well, I gotta go handle this. Wasn't it? Asmod is like, hey, what are you doing? You can't do anything to him. He's like, no. I'll think of something. Remember, hero. Which that is one of the moments, I respect the boy for that. He didn't have his watch, but he pulled up for his friends and stuff. He's like, Vilgax, put them down. I'm right here, or whatever he said. They get captured. They get strung up and held up in another part of the cave. Azimuth puts inhibitor collars, I think, or something, some type of headgear on them that inhibits their powers for, what's her name? Gwen and Kevin. So they can't use their power. She tries to use mana, but it shocks her. While they're tied up, Ben just there looking. Vilgax asks him, is like, is there a passcode, a key or something? Is there some way I can control it? He's like, I don't know. You got to ask Azimuth, but I don't think he's going to tell you. Vilgax gets mad and walks off. As he walks off, Azimuth pulls up. He's like, thank you guys for all the work. While Kevin's like, hey, Azimuth, real quick, chew through our chains or something. He's like, I am not a rodent. This to Kevin's like, you could have fooled me. But yeah, after that part, I want to say, he tells the three of them, he's like, thank you guys for your contribution to the universe. I appreciate you risking your lives time and time again. He doesn't say it like that, but he's essentially saying it like that. But it sucks that he has to come to this. But they're like, what? Can we do something? Can we find a way to stop him? He's like, no, there's no way to stop him. And he's like, you're just gonna, he's basically sacrificing them to Vilgax. He's like, so you're just gonna run away? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty much gonna do that. I know your heart's in the right place, but if it was my design, I would move it more to the center. He was being a dork. But at that moment, Vilgax pulls up. He's like, because they start asking him questions. My bad, I'm skipping ahead a little bit. They start asking him questions because Ben's like, what about that Primus guy? Can we just have him, stop Vilgax? Then Azimuth's like, no, Primus is not a person, or Primus is not a man, even though it will be some alien. Primus is not a man. Primus is this whole living planet, this biological engine that I made. And it's used to like store the Omnitrix DNA and stuff like that. He told Gwen, he's like, Gwen and Kevin and Ben, have you ever wondered how I got all the DNA from all the worlds and stuff? He essentially, break it down, he sends those bugs out into the universe to go suck people of their DNA and bring it back to the planet. So it's pretty weird. And he says the code on stream. Oh, well, Vilgax is going to say that. But yeah. As soon as he's talking, Vilgax pulls up. He's like, oh, so this planet is important to you, huh? Because at this point in time, without the planet, the watch wouldn't work. So if you destroy the planet, the Omnitrix wouldn't work because it's like a wireless receiver. It's a phone, and the planet is the real server. But Vilgax says, oh, so this planet is important to you. Tell me the code, I'll destroy it. What's his name? Azimuth is like, sure, I don't care. But Ben is like, wait, Azimuth can't help you. Only I can. And this boy, Ben, what's his name? Yeah, Ben is about to spill the secret. Gwen's like, no, Ben, don't do it. So does, what's his name? Azimuth. Azimuth's like, no, Ben, don't tell him anything. Kevin's like, can it, genius? Ben's like, don't worry, I can help you, but you have to make a promise to me. You promised to let my friends go, and I'll tell you how to work the Omnitrix. Only I can do it. Then Vilgax is like, okay, but you, Ben Tennyson, you will die. So he frees Ben. Ben starts helping him, use the Omnitrix. So he's like, oh yeah, so in order to turn the dial, you need to click it in. So he clicks it, then it pops up the alien. Then he smashes it for Vilgax, and Vilgax turns into goop. He doesn't say it, but I'll say it. Goop. But as soon as Ben is pressing it, Azimuth runs there. He's like, no. He's like, Ben, no. Also, there was one joke. Oh yeah. When Ben was about to trick Vilgax, yes, it's a trick. What's the name? Gwen's like, Ben, no. Then Ben's like, don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Then Kevin's like, since when? It rhymes a bit how he says it, but I'm not saying it properly. Maybe I'll write it over there. But it's like Ben, Gwen, when. They all rhymed a bit. Either way, Vilgax is now Goop. He's like, I feel invincible, the power. Then he uses Goop's power to like go through some rocks or something. But then he's like, I can do anything. Ben's like, almost anything. So he then runs up on Goop's artificial gravity machine thing, pulls it out of Vilgax's head, presses the button, and Vilgax is now just a puddle. Then he's like, well, what did you do to me? I can't move. Then he's like, yeah, I just turned off Goop's artificial gravity. Then he takes the Omnitrix straight up from his chest, and I was like, why can't you do that, Mr. Smartest Guy Asma, you flipping idiot? But yeah, Ben takes the Omnitrix, puts it back on, and he's like, who's the hero? Who's the hero? Asmith and Gwen are like, you are. Then he's like, everybody. Kevin's like, you are. Oh, that boy Ben Tennyson, the braggadociousness. But after this, Vilgax gets up. He's like, I will destroy you. He's like, yeah, sure. Ben turns into Cannonbolt, beats him up, knocks the donkey puss out of this dude. Literally, I don't know why Asma couldn't do what Ben's doing, but I don't know. Ben just has the juice. But doing this, he said this is the Vilgax, by the way, before all this happened, when he was threatening Ben and stuff. He's like, tell me the secrets or I'll feed you to the codon stream. What's a codon stream? A codon stream was basically the green lava thing, but not really lava. But at this point, he said he's gonna cut them loose into it, and it's boiling, so I guess it's hotter in the inside of the volcano compared to the outside. I don't know. But Ben and skipping forward, Ben in Cannonbolt form, and not Asmith, and Vilgax almost fall into the codon stream, and Vilgax is like, if I'm gonna fall, I'm gonna take you with me. Then he's like, I got a better idea. Then stomps on his face, and he falls in there. Then Gwen's like, oh, after he frees them, actually no, they're not quite free yet, or maybe they're free, but Gwen's like, oh, it's not your fault, Ben. You did what you had to do. I'm like, of course it's not his fault. I would have done that 10 times. I was like, get the fuck off me. Vilgax stomped his face in. But Asmit pulls up, he's like, be aware or something. The fight isn't over. Vilgax is gonna come back again. And they're like, what? Then Vilgax pops out the ground in giant form, like a kaiju, the same size as Way Big. And he's like, I will destroy you, Ben Tennyson. Ben is like, sure you will. Turns into Way Big. And this is the point where essentially Vilgax is Ben's son now. Ben is his daddy. Like, I have to be serious. Ben is his dad, or his big brother at least. Because I remember my big brothers did this to me, and I did it to a few of my younger cousins back in the day. Don't do this, kids. Don't do this. But yeah, they start throwing these hands. I will destroy Ben. Not Ben. Vilgax just punching, kicking. I'm like, aren't you a war general? Like, don't you have superpowers? Like, can't you overpower him? But no, he cannot. Ben just countering everything. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, okay, Ben. Okay. You got this. No wonder Asmith is lame. He can't even use his own watch. But Ben catches all of his fists. Well, catches one of his fists. Then starts using the fist to punch him in the face, which is, like I said, this is what older brothers do and all that stupid stuff. Why are you hitting yourself? Kevin's like, classic. I'm like, yeah, that is a classic. Why you hitting yourself? Why'd you hit yourself? No, it wasn't why you hitting yourself. It's like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Using his hand to punch him in the face. Asmith sees this, is like, starts smiling. I'm like, yeah, you picked the right guy, or you left the watch in the right guy. Ben picks up Vilgax, spins him around like the helicopter stuff. So it's basically doing him like a little kid that tosses him through the volcano out into space, which is the second time he's done that to to Vilgax. The first time was way back in Secret of the Omnitrix, where he spiked him like a tennis ball, or he threw him away like a tennis ball into space. But yeah, to me, that scene makes this episode worth it. Like, why you stop hitting yourself. But yeah, Asmith is smiling. And after this, they start walking outside the volcano and stuff. Asmon's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have to relocate the planet and hide everything and hide the planet again. Ben's like, you're welcome. But he's still mad about Ben hacking the Omnitrix and all that stuff because Ben was an idiot for doing that. Kevin's like, oh, couldn't you have been any more dramatic when Ben was... He's talking to Gwen, by the way. Could you have been any more dramatic when Ben was about to trick Vilgax? He's like, what? She was like, oh, well, I was just helping him sell it, Ben, no! He's like, nah, sure you were. But, Ben and Asmund talk a little bit. Ben's like, well, I gotta worry about a giant Vilgax. He's like, no, the effects of the codon stream will wear out, temporary in a little bit. So Kevin's like, so we just have to worry about a regular size Vilgax. Then he's like, Ben's like, so are you gonna let me keep the watch? He's like, yes. Or he says, you're welcome. That's why he says you're welcome. This is after he's still mad at him about the whole hacking the thing. But, Ben is kind of the best at doing this. I'm being serious. The boy, even the creator couldn't do this. Stop hitting yourselves. He made this guy his son, bro. But yeah, when I see that even Asmund sucks at using this watch, because I'm just saying, if I had that stuff, I would use it. I'll be way better. But at the same time, Ben does have the most experience with it, so that makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of how the episode ends. He lets him keep the watch, and I think this is when he truly started trusting Ben, like really, really trusting Ben. Asmund, I mean. Maybe this is when he was like, you know what, I will give him my new Omnitrix when the new Omnitrix was made. But thank you guys for watching Chris Platoon, the channel for early 2000s kids and a few 90s babies. Wow. 31 minutes. I was trying to make this short, but I just kept rambling and rambling. Let me know your video requests, guys. Like, I'm gonna be doing the interviews, live stream soon. I'm just gonna do a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to, like I said, get the early 2000s kids and the late 90s babies. I want to combine them into the ultimate community and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Drop a like, sub. If you've seen this, you remember this, comment, tell me what's your favorite Ben kicking Vilgax's moment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.